So, we were all set to dive into this really interesting topic: why smart homes are dumb about privacy. I mean, what a great title, right? It promises to pull back the curtain on all those convenient gadgets we have in our homes. But when we went to check out the source for this explainer, well, we found a bit of a mystery.
Yeah, that's right. The article was just gone. Nothing but a headline on a blank page. Now, you might think, well, that's the end of that. But actually, this is where it gets interesting. What can you learn from nothing? It turns out a whole lot. We're going to treat this like a digital crime scene and solve the mystery using only the clues left behind. Okay, let's start our investigation. The main piece of evidence, the article itself, is missing. But any good detective knows that the story is often hiding in the surroundings. We're not just looking at a web page, we're basically on a digital archaeology dig. And our first step? You've got to investigate the source. To figure out what this missing article was probably about, we need to analyze the environment it was in. What kind of story is this website telling us, even without any words on the page?
Okay, our first clue is a big one. The blog itself is called Privacy Team Pulse. Now that name alone tells you a lot. We're not on some random tech review site. This is a place that's all about the professional world of data privacy.
And if you look around at the other posts and sections on the site, you see a clear pattern. There are headlines like, "Where Privacy Meets Tech," and big questions like, "Who owns your digital identity?" They've even got these resources, privacy reads, and a Prive toolkit. You see where this is going, right? The theme is just crystal clear. This website lives and breathes data privacy. So we can be pretty darn sure that our missing article was a serious look at how smart homes collect our data. But honestly, that's not even the most interesting clue we found. So let's move on to our Exhibit A. And it's not another article or some hidden link. Nope. It's that little banner at the bottom of the screen. The one we've all trained ourselves to ignore. This is where the real story is. First, the website makes you a promise. It's stated very clearly, very reassuringly. Respecting your privacy is our priority. It's designed to make you trust them, to make you feel like you're in a safe place that actually cares about your data. But then, right after making that promise, it hits you with a question, a request. Allow the use of cookies, and suddenly there's this really interesting tension between what they just said and what they're now asking. And this right here perfectly captures the central conflict of the entire internet, doesn't it? On one side, you have the promise of privacy, and on the other, you have the ask for your data. The site says it respects you, but it also wants something from you.
So what are we even talking about here? What's a cookie? Well, it's just a tiny file a website puts on your browser. It's how it remembers who you are and what you do. Sometimes that's for convenience, keeping you logged in, but it's also a powerful tool for tracking your activity all across the web.
You see, that little banner is a perfect snapshot of our digital lives. Every single day, we're faced with these tiny little choices, these small negotiations where we trade a little piece of our data for access to something. The missing article was about privacy, but this banner forces us to make a privacy choice in real time.
So, after all this detective work, what did we actually figure out? Well, we never got to read the article, but maybe we uncovered something even more important. The real privacy question that's happening all the time.
So here's what we learned. First, context is everything. We didn't need the article because the rest of the page told us the story. Second, every website has a data story. It's usually not in the big headlines, but in the small print like a cookie banner. And finally, and this is the big one, the most important privacy questions aren't theoretical. They're the choices a website is asking you to make right now. It really all boils down to this. We came looking for information about privacy, and instead we found ourselves right in the middle of a real-time privacy choice. The most powerful lesson wasn't in the text we couldn't read, it was in the decision we were being asked to make about our own data. And that brings us right back to the beginning.
The article might be gone, but our smart devices, they're definitely not. They're listening, they're watching, and they're learning, creating a story about us every single day. So the real question isn't what was in that missing article. It's this: what is your smart home learning about you tonight?